The room is quiet, but inside your mind, there's a war raging. Your chest is heavy, your legs feel like they're made of stone, and your breath burns as if fire is filling your lungs. Your thoughts scream, "Stop! Give up! It's too much!" But deep inside, there's a small voice that refuses to be silenced. A whisper, "Keep going." This is the moment no one talks about. The moment between who you are and who you could become. The moment where most people quit and a few become legends. The truth is simple, but brutal. Strength is born in pain, not in comfort, not in ease, not when life hands you victories wrapped in ribbons, but when it crushes you, breaks you, and leaves you bleeding on the floor, and you still rise. Think about it. Every champion you admire, the athletes, the creators, the icons, they were once ordinary. They weren't chosen. They weren't gifted a golden path. They were tested. They faced nights of doubt, mornings of exhaustion, and days where no one clapped for them, no one believed in them, and no one even noticed their fight. And yet, they fought anyway, because they knew something most people don't. Pain is not your enemy. It's your teacher. Pain teaches you discipline. Pain teaches you patience. Pain teaches you to keep moving when every cell in your body is screaming to stop. And those lessons? They can't be bought. They can't be faked. They are only earned. In the darkness, when no one is watching, when your hands shake and your heart breaks, and you keep going anyway. Right now, maybe you're in that darkness. Maybe you're tired. Maybe you failed again. Maybe you're staring at a future that feels impossible to reach. But listen carefully. This pain you feel is not the end. It's the beginning. This is where strength is born, in the moments that make most people run away. When your muscles are torn, they rebuild stronger. When your mind is stretched, it becomes sharper. When your heart is broken, it grows deeper. Every scar carries a lesson. Every struggle builds a weapon inside you. Most people fear pain. They run from it. They hide. But not you. Because deep down, you know something powerful. Pain is the proof that you are pushing your limits. Pain is the evidence that you are still in the fight. Pain is the signal that growth is happening beneath the surface, silent, invisible, unstoppable. And one day, this very pain will become your armor. The sleepless nights will turn into resilience. The heartbreak will turn into fire. The failures will become your fuel. There will come a day when people see your strength, and they will call it talent. They will call it luck. They will never see the nights you cried behind closed doors. They will never see the mornings you dragged yourself out of bed with a broken heart and trembling hands. They will never see how heavy your soul felt when you still showed up, again and again. But you will know. You will remember. You will carry the memory of every painful moment and smile, because that pain became your power. So when your body screams to stop, move anyway. When your mind whispers, "You're not enough," answer back, "Watch me." There is nothing more powerful than a human being who has suffered, who has bled, who has fallen, and still stands. You are becoming that person right now. Not someday. Not when life gets easier. Right now, in the storm, in the struggle, in the chaos. You are being forged. The pain you feel today will become the strength that carries you through tomorrow. It will become the reason you rise. It will become your story, the story that inspires someone else to keep going when they feel like quitting. And that is why you cannot stop here. You can cry, but don't quit. You can stumble, but don't stop. You can bleed, but don't break. Because this pain is not here to destroy you. It's here to build you into something unbreakable. There's something no one tells you about pain. It's quiet. It doesn't announce itself with fanfare or applause. It creeps in slowly. In the early mornings when the world is still asleep, in the late nights when you're the only one awake, staring at a screen or lifting that last rep, wondering if any of it will matter. And while the world sleeps, pain is reshaping you. It sharpens you in ways comfort never can. It cuts away your weakness, your hesitation, your excuses. Each moment of discomfort is like fire melting metal. Painful, blinding, searing, but it forges something stronger than before. Most people will never understand this part of the journey because they only see the after. They see the transformation, not the tearing apart. They admire the mountain's peak, but never the bleeding hands that clawed their way up the cliffs. They don't see the sacrifices, the friendships you outgrew because they didn't understand your vision, the birthdays you missed because you were chasing something bigger, the nights you worked while everyone else celebrated. They don't see the loneliness, the doubt, the voice in your head that whispers, maybe you're not enough. But you stayed, and that's what matters. You stayed when it wasn't pretty. You stayed when no one clapped. You stayed when you had nothing left but willpower. That's what separates the few from the many. Anyone can be motivated when the sun is shining. But champions are built in the darkness, when the lights are off, when the crowd is gone, when it's just you, your heartbeat, and your decision to keep moving. And here's the beautiful truth. Pain is temporary. It may last for a day, a week, a year, but it ends. And when it does, something incredible happens. You don't return to who you were. You rise as someone new, someone sharper, someone harder to break, someone who knows what they survived and refuses to go back. Because every time pain knocks you down and you get up, you teach your mind something powerful. I can survive this. And once your mind believes that, it becomes unstoppable. That's the moment you stop fearing failure. That's the moment you stop asking for permission. That's the moment you stop living small, because you know you've endured worse and kept going. And people will notice the change. They won't know why, but they'll feel it. They'll see the fire in your eyes, the weight in your words, the calm in your presence. They'll see the quiet strength of someone who's been through storms and still stands. And that strength, that unshakable energy that radiates from you, will come from these very days of pain. Right now it just feels like suffering. It feels heavy, endless, like carrying a mountain on your back. But someday, you will look back at this exact moment and smile. Because you will realize, this was the season where you became bulletproof. You don't grow by avoiding pain. You grow by walking through it and refusing to bow your head. You grow by bleeding forward, crawling if you must, and never losing sight of why you started. This is not just about success. It's about transformation. About becoming the kind of person who can endure anything life throws your way and keep moving forward with fire in your heart. And every time you choose to rise through pain, you make it easier for the next version of you to stand taller. One day, your strength will look effortless, but you will know it was built on sleepless nights, broken hearts, and silent battles that no one ever saw. And you'll carry that truth like armor. So when the pain feels like it's crushing you, breathe. And remember, it's not crushing you, it's carving you. There comes a moment when something inside you snaps, not in weakness, but in awakening. The pain that once made you want to crawl into the dark becomes the same force that makes you stand taller. Your body is still sore, your mind is still tired, but something deeper has shifted. You stop asking, "Can I do this?" and start declaring, "I will." That's the moment you take control of your story. Most people live their lives reacting to fear, to doubt, to the opinions of others. They wait for perfect timing, for motivation, for someone to rescue them. But not you, because pain has taught you that no one is coming. And that realization is your freedom. You understand now that strength is not a feeling, it's a decision. You don't wait to feel strong. You choose to act like you are. You push through the burn, the exhaustion, the fear, not because it's easy, but because you refuse to surrender. That's what turns pain into power. Every rep when your muscles scream, every page when your brain is drained, every hour when your heart is heavy. These are not signs of weakness. They are proof that you're sharpening the blade of your character. Steel becomes unbreakable only after it survives the fire. And you are walking through fire every single day. This is where momentum is born, not in comfort, but in chaos. Not when things are easy, but when everything in you wants to stop and you move anyway. Because pain has stopped being an enemy. It's become your compass. Every time it shows up, you know you're walking toward growth. And slowly, people begin to notice. They can't quite explain it, but they see it. The way you carry yourself, the calm in your eyes, the quiet intensity in your voice. You don't need to brag, because your presence speaks louder than words. But what they don't see is what's fueling it. They don't see the nights you broke down alone and still showed up the next morning. They don't see the times you wanted to quit but whispered, "Not today." They don't see the weight you carried silently while building yourself brick by brick. This is the part where most people break, and you don't. Because now you understand. Pain is no longer something happening to you. It's something happening for you. It's the signal that you are stretching beyond your limits. It's the proof that you are becoming someone new. It's the fuel that ignites your fight. And once you've felt that shift, once you realize that pain is not your prison, but your weapon, you become unstoppable. Fear loses its grip. Doubt loses its voice. Failure loses its power. You start walking like you already carry victory in your bones. Not because life suddenly got easier, but because you got stronger. You've bled enough, fought enough, fallen enough to know you can survive anything. That's what true strength is, not avoiding pain, but rising every time it tries to bury you. So keep rising. Keep pushing when it burns. Keep fighting when it hurts. Because this is not the end of your story. This is the chapter where you become the version of yourself who can no longer be broken. There comes a point when pain stops feeling like pain. It stops feeling like the enemy. Instead, it starts to feel like progress. Like proof that something inside you is finally waking up. At first, you don't notice it. It's quiet. You just realize you're not as tired as you used to be. That what once felt impossible now feels routine. The weight you carry hasn't gotten lighter. You've gotten stronger. This is what transformation truly looks like. It's not sudden. It's not loud. It happens silently, day by day, choice by choice, while the world isn't looking. While they think you're just working hard, you're actually becoming someone they won't even recognize. Because every drop of sweat, every aching muscle, every tear you hid behind a forced smile, they were not wasted. They were bricks. And now you're standing inside the fortress you built from your suffering. This is what they don't understand about strength. They think it's about muscles or money or fame. It's not. True strength is the unshakable calm inside you when chaos surrounds you. It's the ability to stand tall when everything tries to break you again. It's the voice that says, "I've survived worse. Try me." And the world begins to change around you. Opportunities open. People who once doubted you now watch you in silence. Those who laugh now whisper your name. They don't understand how you did it. How someone who once seemed broken now walks like a storm. But you understand. You remember every moment that built you. Every scar has a story. Every wound became a weapon. And here's the beautiful part. The pain didn't just make you strong. It made you compassionate. It gave you depth. It gave you empathy for others who are still in their storm. Because you know how it feels to be lost, to be tired, to be on the edge of quitting. And now, instead of breaking people, you lift them. Instead of proving them wrong, you inspire them to rise. That's the quiet reward of pain. It gives you power, but it also gives you purpose. This is what victory truly is. Not a trophy, not applause, but becoming the person who cannot be shaken anymore. The kind of person who walks through fire calmly, because they know they are the fire. And this strength doesn't go away. It lives in your bones now. In the way you wake up early without complaining. In the way you walk into challenges without fear. In the way you keep going even when you're exhausted. That's what makes you unstoppable. Because strength built in pain cannot be destroyed by comfort. You are no longer fueled by the need to prove them wrong. You are fueled by the need to prove yourself right. The pain you felt has become your foundation. And now, nothing can shake you. Look at how far you've come. There was a time you doubted you could survive even one more day. There was a time you were on your knees, broken, trembling, certain that it was over. And yet, here you are. Every moment you thought was the end was just the beginning of who you were meant to become. Every sleepless night, every silent cry, every ounce of pain, you carried it all, and it became your armor. You are not the same person who once begged the world to be easier. You are someone forged in storms. You are someone who has felt the weight of the world and lifted it anyway. You are proof that strength is not given. It's earned in suffering, one breath, one step, one choice at a time. And now, as you stand here, stronger than ever, you need to understand something. The pain didn't just build your strength. It revealed it. It showed you the power that was always inside you. Hidden, waiting, burning. This is what people will never understand when they see you rise. They'll think you got lucky. They'll think it just worked out. But you'll know. You'll remember the war you fought when no one was watching. You'll remember dragging your body through the fire while your mind screamed to stop. You'll remember how you bled for a dream no one else believed in. And that is what will make your strength unshakable. Because it was never about applause, never about proving them wrong. It was about proving to yourself that you could endure, that you could rise, that you could become the person your younger self needed. And now you are. So let this be the moment you stop playing small. Stop waiting. Stop doubting. Stop asking the world for permission to be great. Because you've earned this. You've suffered for this. You've fought through the nights and bled through the days for this. This is your time, not to survive anymore, but to lead. Somewhere out there, someone is where you once were. Broken, tired, on the edge of giving up. And they are waiting to see someone prove it's possible to rise from the ashes. Be that proof. Be the light you once needed. Because this is bigger than just you. Your pain wasn't pointless. It was preparing you to become the voice that says, "You can do this. I know, because I did." So stand up. Lift your head. Take one more step. Not because it's easy, but because you promised yourself you wouldn't quit here. This is your moment. The pain you feel today will become the strength that carries you into a life you can be proud of. It will become the reason you rise, the reason you lead, the reason you never break again. And when the world looks at you and wonders how you made it, you will smile, because you'll know the truth. You were built in the fire, and nothing can burn you now. So go, chase the life you were meant for. Build the future your past self dreamed of. Prove to the world that pain is not the end. It is the doorway to greatness. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Don't stop. Because your pain has already built your wings. Now it's time to fly.